What's up, NBA fans? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy, JB, host of the Behind the Bench podcast network and channel. Just want to give a shout out to the rest of the crew. I'm talking about Shad, Kelvin, and Jermaine. And for everyone who's tuning in, hope that you become a subscriber and support Behind the Bench to help make this show the best that it can be. Now, it's a bombshell. It's a bombshell. This is major. But if you just so happen to be following this situation from the time this all started, it comes as no shock. And I'm talking about a recent interview that Dwayne Wade, longtime player of the Miami Heat, one of the best shooting guards of all time, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But he recently revealed that the reason that he, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh decided to, as LeBron James put it and coined it, joining forces and created the league's first ever super team, was in response to Kobe Bryant winning his 5th championship for the 2009-2010 season, leading the Lakers to back-to-back titles. Now, the thing about it is, well, first of all, to me, as a lifelong fan of the NBA that stretches 5 decades, the super team era has been a negative. It's been a detriment to how basketball is perceived, how basketball is viewed, how the commentary and the critique of the NBA has changed, I believe, for the worst, and how fans have been conditioned as to what they expect a team, their favorite team, to do in order to pursue championships. In the grand scheme of things, in the totality of things. And think about it. 3 franchise level superstars. One was in his prime in Dwayne Wade, and 2 was entering their prime in LeBron James and Chris Bosh. They all played in the Eastern Conference, and they created a super team and would add multiple all-star level players, marquee superstar players, elite 3-point shooters along the way, in pursuit of, as they say, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. We have never, ever, and today's pundits can try to convince the fans out there that NBA had super teams of the past, but it's not true. You had all-time championship teams and you had dynastic teams. You didn't have super teams. You had teams with multiple Hall of Famers, but you don't start your career off as a Hall of Famer. You become a Hall of Famer because you played at an exceptional level for at least, let's say, a 10-year period. But in the heart of your run, fans aren't saying, oh, that's a Hall of Famer. Everybody's a Hall of Famer. No, That's not how a basketball team run is judged. It's when you reflect back on it and you look at the overall achievement of that player and of that team. So because Kobe Bryant was so great, now mind you, the Los Angeles Lakers were not even favored to win the championship in 2010. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers. Especially after they acquired Shaquille O'Neal, and then later on mid-season they acquired Anton Jameson. They were picked to win it all. And the team that Miami Heat lost to in the playoffs that year, the team that the Cleveland Cavaliers lost to in the playoffs in the second round that year. Now, Miami lost to that team in the first round. Cleveland lost to that team in the second round. And the Lakers would beat in the finals. I'm talking about the Boston Celtics. So what Wade says dispels the notion that has been pushed and prodded as to why that Miami Heat super team was created. It permanently dispels the notion that they did that to defeat Boston. Or what happened was when they initially put that thought out there saying that they created that team and joined forces to defeat Boston, that's what left the perception that Boston was the super team when they wasn't. Now, did they have a big three? Yes, they have. Yes, they did. There's been plenty of teams that didn't even necessarily win a championship who had three high-level players, but they weren't considered franchise players at the same time. But they was viewed as a big three. That's not the same as a super team. So that permanently dispels that notion because, number one, when Boston won the championship in 2008, now one player on that team averaged 20 points a game. Not even Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was 30. KG was a 13-year vet before he was traded to Boston. He was past his prime. Ray Allen was an 11-year vet. KG was close to 33. Ray Allen had to be about around 31, 32 years old. But we'll just say 30, 31. And by season's end, he was 32, and KG was by season's end around 34. They was past their prime. That was not a super team. By no stretch of imagination. I never viewed that Boston team as a super team. It didn't even come across that way. And they struggled during that postseason when they won the championship. They lost 10 postseason games. 10 playoff games. They was far from dominant. But for one man to lead three superstar franchise players to join alliances shows how great Kobe Bean Bryant was. It shows how great he was. And that Chris Paul trade that was approved by the teams involved, 3-team trade, if that trade had not been blocked, Kobe Bryant would have won more championships. At the worst, he would have retired with 6. That's how great he was. That they had to form a super team to try to dethrone him. So I'm going to be talking about this more real soon down the line because we have to really delve into this and really break this whole thing down. But until next time, this is JB right here, BTB, Behind the Bench.